What do you mean you want to play football? Girls' football is either for lesbians or girls who don't know the lesbians yet. Why don't you try netball or hockey?
I'll be late in the morning because I need to go and see the head teacher.
I don't know how I'd feel if I was to drop him off and see one. I think it's more because there aren't that many male nannies or males working in nurseries.
Can I leave early to take my daughter to the hospital, please?
What do men know about women's fashion? Do you honestly think a woman is going to take fashion advice from a man?
If you've seen a man cooking a meal for the family, you would have probably looked at him and said, "Hey, why are you doing that? Why is your wife not cooking for you? You know, go and sort it out."
I've witnessed gender discrimination a lot. I think back to a time when I was at school and part of the football team, and there was a girl that wanted to join the football team, and there was a big debate whether she should be allowed, because at the time women's football wasn't really a big thing.
When I started work as a trainee accountant, basically we were taken in and basically told that it was the girls' job to actually go and make teas for the clients. The boys or the lads were never asked to do that.
I remember my grandparents, my parents, they were telling me that I have to work, I have to study and go to work to make sure that I can support my family. And it was always a question in my mind that, what about my partner? Why does my partner need to stay at home?
I was coaching some young lad at the various boxing skills, and a female's come into the gym to interested in doing some coaching, or being coached, sorry, and one of the other coaches has turned around and said basically that the boxing gym wasn't an environment for a female and turned her away.
As a working mother, it is really difficult to give 100% commitment to your family as well as to your work.
When I was 5 years old, I wanted to have a doll, but my grandfather, I told him what I want. He laughed me out and said, like, you can't have a doll because it's for the girls. You have to have a soldier. We're gonna buy you a pair of blocks and you can build something, because that's for the boys. It's not for the girls.
I grew up in apartheid South Africa, where up until 1994 it was government policy to discriminate against people based not on the content of the character but the color of their skin. Women likewise also have grown up not being judged by the content of the character but the makeup of their genes. If you look at the apartheid system, you can definitely see parallels with discrimination against women.
When I was younger, I wanted to do ice skating lessons. I told my granddad and he said, "Why do you want to do that? Like, are you a girl or something?"
So my daughter always loved playing football. She loved it since she was about 4, and I signed her to play with the boys team because there weren't any girls team. So this was a bit daunting because she had to kind of man up and be kind of boyish as well.
In the future, I think it'll be more acceptable for males to work in nurseries.
This whole sort of mentality where women should stay at home, I think is fading away now. And I think that people are starting to accept that women have the right to go out there and have a career.
People still found it unusual that a young girl plays football and plays with the boys.
Women's football has come a long way since when I was coming up in school.
We constantly monitor the situation by having refresher courses to make sure everyone has a consistent and a constant approach that is fair to all.
We are now living in a time where we find it more accepting and embrace changes. Maybe we've learnt from the past. Men have become more successful in the fashion world and have gained top positions. For example, Michael Kors, Versace.
You can do whatever you want to do. Don't let any man or woman determine your destiny.
As a woman, sometimes you don't have a choice but to go to work, which is a massive contrast to back in the days where women were discriminated against because of their gender being at work.
Flexible working in the workplace allow working mothers to spend more quality time with the children, and as well as also giving 100% commitment to the work.
Parents are more encouraging for the children to get what they want, to be who they want to be, because you have only one life, so just go for it.
We go to the matches and they are very popular, so hopefully she'll be playing
in a famous team in a few years, and we'll see her on TV and she will earn loads of money like men do.
Yeah, just do what you want, as long as you're happy. Don't worry about what other people say.
I feel times have changed positively due to the amount of female athletes that are in the public eye now.
Times have changed a lot since then. No employer, I don't believe these days, would ever basically tell females to go and make the tea and not the males.
The older views on gender-specific roles has evolved over generations. However, me growing up in the 90s, we don't consider some of the separation that was once normal to us back in the days.
Go for it. Go on one life. We live in a society that profits from our self-doubt, and being yourself is almost like an act of rebellion, so just do it.
We live in a society today where men are so much more actively involved in the upbringing of their children.
Do what you want to do, and no one's opinion should matter more than your own happiness.
When we put women down, we suppress our own mothers, our own wives and our own daughters, as well as ourselves. We need to stand up and be counted as the generation that did things different.